And now it's live. And welcome to a group meeting. And this week is group activity on perception. I really enjoyed the articles today and the video. Did you watch that YouTube video?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
read the articles. I've actually read them Saturday before I gave my Relief Society lesson
Oh,
and
wow.
incorporated them into my lesson.
That is really good. Yeah. I've read some of the articles before in other classes too. Yeah.
They were I enjoyed that. Good
hmm
readings.
Yes. Great. Okay. So when each of us play the music, then the other one has to write about what they.
The first thing that comes to mind, right?
Right. First thing that comes to mind. So anything that elicit that comes to your mind, memories, images, emotions, impressions, anything the music elicits in you, all should be written down.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put, I'll put mine there for yours. Okay. Do you want me
hmm
to start or do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay.
Oh, or do you want me to start? Up to you.
Doesn't make any difference. Let's go ahead. I got mine ready to go, so we're going to play it on the iPhone.
Okay.
That proved to be easier.
hmm
Okay, ready? I just came from the MTC. I'm a missionary, and you're my first love. Come on, it's really awesome. Could you hear that
Yeah.
okay? Okay. So write the first thing that you think.
Uh-huh. I'm writing. Uh, I'm actually writing on a notepad. After that, I'll transfer it. It's much easier for me.
Okay.
So I'm just writing like 1, 2, 3 words.
Okay, I wrote down what I played so that we can
Right.
so when they see the word they can reference it. And when I heard this, I was giving a lesson on missionaries.
Okay, so I'm gonna write down. Oh, I'm gonna write down what I feel. Oh, sorry. Did I
Yeah.
just delete that?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
And okay. Did you see what I wrote down on that
I
one?
did.
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then I need to hear yours.
Yes. So when you're ready, I'm gonna play it.
Okay. Okay. Those are mine.
Okay.
Can you see what I wrote?
I'm looking right now. Yes. Techno, dancing, metal, shopping.
I don't know why it reminded me of shopping, but when I hurry through a mall, it reminds me of,
uh-huh.
let's get to it.
Okay. So on you or on yours when I was playing it, I just kind of heard the words, right? And
Hmm.
duty, missionary, awesome, upbeat. It's a call, work, happiness, joy because of the tone of the girl, right?
Right.
Duty bound, fire. I could feel the energy. I think that's what you wrote on top, but that's my
Yeah.
explanation of energy is fire.
Right.
and ready to go. Fulfillment is like a satisfaction of doing something that's good, right?
Hmm.
And also it's a challenge because as she's challenging people to go on a mission, stuff like that too. So that's what I thought on your music.
Yours reminded me of going to a disco, kind of, or being in a mall where they kind of get you
Right.
excited with the music to
Hmm.
motivate you. So I guess it was kind of motivating.
Right. Uptack,
Yeah,
right.
it
Hmm.
was that was very interesting. I wondered where the
Right.
words were, and that was something I thought of too. Is no words.
Right. Yeah. It just goes through the mind, right?
Right, right,
Yes. Sometimes music does that, right? There's no words, but you have feelings.
exactly.
Yeah. And even to
Totally
put
agree.
feelings into words sometimes are hard to describe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to explain how music will move you the same way.
Right. Uh,
You connect to it. So why you connect to some things and not to others?
right.
It's
Yeah. And sometimes, just like in number four, notice that you were all exposed to identical stimuli, the music clips, yet your interpretations of those stimuli, what you saw, felt, remembered, and wrote, were vastly different.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes music is like that, right? Um,
Right,
you could hear the same thing, but then we also come up with different perceptions of what we encounter. So
right.
yeah, and sometimes our feelings are different from another. Yeah, and it's hard to
Everything
quantify.
affects us different. When you read the scriptures, um,
Hmm.
everybody grabs something different from wherever they're at in their lives. It touches them a different way.
Hmm.
So they all come back with a different. It's all the same message, but it affects them differently.
That's right.
Different things do.
Hmm.
And every time you read the same scripture, you get something different from it. So
Right.
it's all based on where you are, the perception of where you are, and what you're looking for.
That's true. Okay, so I think we are up to number five now, right?
Right.
Discuss why did you write what you wrote and what sort of factors contributed to your individual interpretation. How do these different factors like culture, age, past history, physical and emotional states, gender, religion influence our perception?
We were kind of touching on that.
Right, that's true. And especially
Right.
the music you played, if I was not a Latter-day Saint, I would not really understand that music.
Well, it came from the movie Frozen. That's a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
when I played it in Relief Society on Sunday with my lesson,
Mm.
immediately they heard that little intro,
Right.
and all the women there knew that had to do with the children's thing. And they knew missionaries go, okay, what is she doing? I always do something different to
Right.
get their attention.
Mm.
And then when they started, do you want to hear the gospel? Then they all
Right.
started really smiling. So it was just their immediate perception was when they heard it, they didn't see it, they heard it. Was, oh,
Right.
she's playing a Frozen song from Disney. Why?
Mm-hmm. And if we are not a big Disney fan or not a Latter-day Saint, we might not really know what that music is about.
Right. You have to,
Yeah.
and you'd have to listen to all the words all the way through. Yeah.
Right. You
So,
cannot
but
just have a little clip and you go, oh, okay, that's that.
and so that's maybe how it is in life too. We get a little clip of somebody, and we
Mhm.
make a judgment based on that little clip, and we don't have the big picture. So we
That's
don't
right.
know what influenced them to do what they did, and maybe we're missing even misinterpreting what they did.
Right. And so I think it's very important for us to see the big picture before we can start to judge things as they are.
I just think we need to stay away from judging as much as possible.
Right. That's
Unless
true.
it's something that's harmful to you or your family, and you have to make a judgment call to protect yourselves. I just think we not in a position to judge other people.
That's true.
And I certainly don't want them judging me, because that's I just don't want them doing it. I mean, I want them to like me. I don't want them to judge me. Accept me
Mm-hmm.
the way I am. I had a
That's
bishop who
right.
told me that if everybody's sins had an odor, we couldn't be around each other. The stench would get to us.
That's a
So
good way
there's
of
no
putting it, right?
right. So it's judging is kind of like, you're talking about someone else stinks. Well, yeah, pretty smelly
Yeah.
yourself.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's, yeah. So we need to get the big picture. We need to leave the judgment up to God, because
Right.
we don't have enough knowledge to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for bishops or stake presidents who get put in that position, because it's hard, without the influence of the Holy Spirit. They're in a tough spot because they love
Right.
the person, and then they have to sometimes make difficult decisions.
That's true. Okay, so we're almost, almost done here. I mean, up to
Okay.
number 6, right?
We can fill in our stuff on our own later on
Yeah.
the, okay, on the Google Doc. Okay.
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 So you discuss different factors that influence our perception. Can you see how futile it is to assume that others will see the world the way you do? How does this understanding influence your attitude towards others who hold views that are very different from yours?
Well, what influences our perception is our life experiences.
That's right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, our experiences in some way shapes the lens of what we see. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And even like with individuals, sometimes maybe we have a start off with a bad history, or we had a conflict and we didn't resolve it, and then we always have a negative taste for that person. Instead of loving that person and trying to understand them, we block ourselves and put up walls. Or we had a beautiful experience, so everything's rosy. It's all depends on what our history with that particular thing is.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's our experience and the way we perceive things
Right.
in a large factor determines what what understanding that we have in our attitude towards others.
I
And
think
also
ego gets in the way sometimes.
yes, I was just about, and also our emotions and feelings does
Right.
play a lot in that, right? Sometimes it's how you're feeling in the moment. If you're happy, just like what we learned today, if you have high esteem, then you tend to look at people favorably.
Mm-hmm.
If you have low esteem, then you tend to look at people not too good. And
Right.
I kind of theorize. I mean, what do you call? See what they're talking about. When I'm happy, I'm good. When something makes me mad, sometimes my view of things are clouded. And I
Right.
don't speak as well as I should be. I'm not as kind as I could be. Yeah, and especially towards others. Yeah.
Right. And that it's sad, but that is the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to, maybe we should monitor, or it's hard to monitor your emotions. They just come and go, but monitor how we think about them, because we can stop our thought process. We can recognize, okay, I'm thinking very negative here. I need to change.
Right. Yeah, and it's also very important that sometimes we have to understand the perspective of the other person that we are looking at.
Right.
Sometimes we are quick to jump into conclusions because we expect them to behave a certain way, the way we expect them to be.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we fail to realize that maybe we are the one that is not behaving as they should be. We take our judgment and our view of what should be, and we think that somebody else should live by it.
Right. And it doesn't work for them.
No, it doesn't work for them. As much as you want for them to adapt to what you want for them, it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah. And even gender plays into this.
Mm-hmm.
Because genders perceive things differently.
Right.
Men will say things and be like, say, I love you. And a lot of times they expect you to understand that's until I tell you different. That's how it is.
All right.
And women want to know all the details and when and how and tell me again and constant affirmation of that. That's just what you feel. And even though you demonstrate it, sometimes, our perception is if you're not telling me plus demonstrating it, then you must not feel it. So it's,
right.
you have those conflicts in relationships, even kids, they're very concrete.
Right. They are. Yes. And very visual.
Right. So they see what you're doing and they hear your words.
Right.
What do you think they're going to follow?
Right. And that's kids, that's their life's experience. That's all they know. What they see and what they hear. And that's what they perceive,
And when they're in conflict, like, Mommy, you said this, but you're doing this.
Right. That's true.
So then they'll probably pick up your actions more than your words, because the perception is, okay, that if Mommy does it, then it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And kids, they mimic even little things like mannerism, the way Mommy sits, the way Mommy eats, the way Dad does certain things.
Right.
Yeah. We learn by practice, by what we see, by our experiences.
Right. So I
Yeah.
mean, so just depending on age and gender, you can get like my dad hearing the music you played, it probably would have frustrated him because
Hmm.
he didn't grow up in an area with my disco music when I'm the 70s and 80s. He didn't like any of that. You know, he didn't like
Right.
rock because that's not something he grew up with. He thought that was pretty raunchy and radical in the 70s. Well, you know, and look at how you thought that was raunchy and radical. Look at where we're at today with rap and stuff. It's come, you know, but it's all
Wow.
perception based on your history and your age and whatever. Can
Right.
you remember your parents telling you to turn your music down? I can remember
Hmm.
my parents saying that. I said, I will never tell my children that. I did. Your music's too loud, turn it down.
Right, right.
So
Hmm.
it's all perception.
That is very true. Hmm. So I think we're done with everything today. So we'll just have to write
Okay.
into the document, right?
Right. And then we can just copy and paste it into,
Okay.
into a Word document. And I think she wants them uploaded, right? She
Yeah.
likes it. Okay. So
Yeah.
that
She
kind of makes
wants.
it easy.
Yeah. She wants us to copy and then paste into the box instead
Into
of.
the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to work on it. I'll get it done tonight.
Hmm.
We set to
Cut
send
and
it
paste.
over by
Okay.
tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Debbie.
I appreciate it. I'll see you next week.
Yes. Good luck on your practice center appointment this week.
Thank you. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.